author of the Adam Lapid mysteries. On this channel, I talk about crime fiction that I read and enjoyed. And today I'd like to tell you about Stranger by Ben H. Winters. I first became aware of the work of Ben H. Winters when I read his trilogy of novels, The Last Policeman trilogy, which deal with police detectives solving crimes as a huge meteor is hurtling through space towards the Earth, and that meteor is basically going to create an apocalypse. And those three books were very enjoyable. Stranger is something a bit different than those books. First of all, it's not a novel. It's shorter. It's a crime novella, and it doesn't deal with something as grim as an apocalypse, but it still has a certain, let's say, dark side to it. So let me tell you a bit about what the story is, and then you can decide whether you'd like to read it as well. So Stranger is sort of a homage to a classic crime novel called Strangers on a Train by Patricia Highsmith, and I reviewed this novel a while back on this channel. And the idea of Strangers on a Train, which is a rather well-known novel and which then became a well-known movie, is that it's about two men who meet on the train, two strangers, and they start talking, and it turns out that both of them have someone in their lives that they would like to get rid of. So one of them sort of raises the idea that they'll swap murders because they're strangers and they have no connection with each other. One of them will kill, let's say, the other person's target, and then the other person will kill the first guy's target. And the story sort of revolves from there. So Stranger is a sort of modern take on this rather ingenious idea. So in Stranger, there's a guy called Harry who works a dead-end job, and he dreams of making it big, and he wants to get his company, which backs software developers, to fund his idea for an app. And he has a sort of idea for an app that will increase connections between people and reduce loneliness and sort of make life better for everyone, and he wants to call it Stronger. And in the beginning of the novella, he is in a restaurant with his wife Amy, and they discuss his upcoming pitch to the people who are going to decide whether or not to fund his project. And Amy belongs to, or is a member of a book club, and they're going to read Strangers on a Train. And she tells him about it. She tells Harry about the novel. And he sort of gets this crazy idea to create an app in which strangers could swap murders. And they laugh about it, but their waiter, who is very odd, hears the idea and becomes excited about it. And it turns out that he is a rather unhinged character, but he is also a brilliant software engineer. So he knows how to create good apps. And so he takes this idea and just runs with it. And he wants Harry to become his partner because Harry was the one who came up with the idea, and Harry, of course, wants nothing to do with him. But this other guy still manages to install the app that he's created called Stranger on Harry's phone. And I won't tell you the entire story, but of course it gets a bit more complicated from there. So this is a pretty neat idea, taking Strangers on a Train and giving it a modern twist and turning it into an app. And there is some resemblance between the characters of these two men and the two men from Strangers on a Train, even though there are also some differences. So is this as good as Strangers on a Train? No, not even close. Strangers on a Train is a classic. It's a classic tale of psychological thriller and pressure, and the way that a person can get another person to completely act outside their moral boundaries. And Stranger, this novella that I'm telling you about, is not as deep and complex, but it's still a lot of fun. So I had a great time listening to the audiobook of Stranger, and I think that if you're looking for something that's light and quick and short, that you'll probably get a kick out of it too. So I'll leave a link in the description below to where you can find a copy of Stranger. And let me know if you've read Stranger or if you've read Strangers on a Train and what you thought of either of them. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.